Cooler weather means soup, and today I'm going to show you how I make my curried, roasted butternut acorn squash soup. Yep, this is the one all my coffee shop customers were always asking for. Well, now you get to see how I make it, so stay tuned.
Hey, so what does fall bring us besides apples? Well, it brings us squash. These late season squashes, and one of my favorite things to do with these, other than bake them, I wasn't really big on baked squash when I was a kid. My mom would make it, didn't like it so much. But you know, as you get older, your taste buds change, and now I can actually eat this stuff. So today we're going to make a roasted curried butternut acorn squash soup. So what do? How are we going to make this? Well, let me tell you the ingredients first. I got a butternut squash. I got an acorn squash. I got a little olive oil for drizzle. I got 4 cloves of garlic, an onion, some curry powder, a little cinnamon that we're going to sprinkle on each of the squashes, and we got some chicken stock. That's what's going in. This is such a simple soup. Anybody can make this. Trust me, anybody can make this. I can make it. Anybody can make it. So let me get some of my tools ready here, because we're going to crack open these squashes, get them prepped to go into the oven to roast, and then we'll get this thing all whipped up. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is take our acorn squash, and be very careful when you do this because they are a little bit tough. Take your knife and just push down through the squash. Be very careful. It is a little bit dangerous cutting these open. There we go. Acorn squash now. Time for the butter. I'm going to make it a little bit easier. Take that end off. Butternut's a little bit easier to cut down through. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to scoop all of our seeds out in some of the membrane here. So now save the seeds, because you've got a wife like mine who likes to think she has a green thumb. She's got a pretty good green thumb. She's going to want these seeds because they're going to try to plant them. Or some people roast the seeds. I have never done that. I need to try doing that sometime. Roasted squash seeds. So there you go. Get all that hair stuff out of there. And the seeds. Pull that out. Alright, on to our next ingredients. I've got 1 onion here. Actually, I'm only going to use a half an onion. So I'm going to take the top and the bottom off, cut it in half, take the outer skin off, this to the side, out of the way, take the onion, cut the half into quarters, and I have my garlic right here. Now, set that to the side, bring my squashes over. I'm going to drizzle each squash with a little bit, I went a little heavy on that, with a little bit of olive oil. And that's a little heavy, so I'm going to actually use some of that olive oil to go in here. And there we go. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to take 1 clove of garlic and put it into each half. I'm going to take 1 piece of that onion and put it into each half. I'm going to hit this with some salt. I'm going to hit it with some pepper. These aren't even cooked yet and they're smelling good. I go heavy on the pepper. like lots of pepper. Then I'm going to go in with about a half a teaspoon each of curry powder. On each half of my squash. Now I'll give that nice curry flavor to them. Alright. And I'm going to hit it with just a sprinkle of cinnamon. There we go. Just a sprinkle. There you have it. This, I have an oven preheated to 375. They're going to go into the oven and roast for about an hour. So in the oven they go, then we'll come back and see how they're doing. Alright, it's been just over an hour and our squashes are looking great. They're smelling fantastic. They're nice and tender, as you can see. And now we've got a couple things to do. So we're going to take the onion and place that into our pan over here. Get all the onion out. Then I'm going to take the garlic and just set it to the side for now, let it cool down just a little bit. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the garlic flesh out of these skins. I don't want to burn my fingers. Get that out. Now it's time to scoop out the flesh and get it into our pan. So just go in there with a spoon. Be careful, the outsides are hot. Go in there and you'll be able to feel the skin. The skin is fairly tough. Just take it right along the skin there. Scoop it out. It should just release nicely there. And the reason why I roast these is I like that nice caramelization. It adds more flavor. And I get that nice roasted flavor in there. Wow, this is looking so good, smelling good. Just a little bit on the warm side though, so try not to burn my fingers. And if you need to grab a napkin or something to help hold these, you can pick them up like that. Makes it a little bit easier just to scoop it out. Alrighty, now we're going to take the garlic and we should just be able to squeeze that out into, there we go, a nice roasted garlic. There we go. Okay, so I have my squash, my onions, the garlic, all in my pan. I'm going to throw some fresh cilantro in here. That's probably about 1/4 cup. Also going to throw in some chicken stock. Probably put about a cup of stock in here. Don't want it too thin. If I need to add more stock later, I will. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. So now we'll get this heated up. Kind of spread things out a little bit here. Because what I'm going to do is go in with my immersion blender and puree this together. And we'll go ahead and kind of blend this up. Go. I'll let this heat up a little bit, and if I need to thin it down, I'll do so. Alright, since the squash was actually hot when I scooped it into the saucepan, it's not going to take long to heat this up. The consistency looks pretty darn good, right about where I want it. I'm going to go in though and do a little bit of a taste test, see if I need to add any salt, pepper, Maybe another little touch of curry, but let me go ahead and try it first. Nothing. Needs absolutely nothing. So, one last ingredient that I'm going to throw in here just to make it a little bit more creamier is I got some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to go ahead and just give it probably about 3 tablespoons of whipping cream just to cream it up a little bit more than what it already is. So there we go. And that's my secret ingredient on my squash soup. There you have it. Okay, so it's just about ready. Maybe another 1 minute and should be ready to go. But before we move on, let me do my my shout out. And this shout out is to all the newly selected Chief Petty Officers out there. You got a little more work to do before you actually put on those anchors. But congratulations to you all. And I hope to see some of you real soon. You know who you are. Anyways, so we're about ready to go ahead and bowl this up and then give it a taste. So let me get rid of that spoon. We'll go ahead and put some in a bowl here. That is looking good. And what I like to do is I like to add a little bit of chives. Oops, dropping that over. So I have some fresh chives here. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of snip in here. For just a little bit of flavor and to make it pretty. Well, one last thing to do, and that's go in and give this a taste. And it's looking good. It's smelling good. It's got fall written all over it. And let me go ahead and try this out. Wow. Anyways, wow, this is just incredible. This is fall in a bowl. And to all my former customers at Ship to Shore Coffee, hey, this is for you. Now you know how I make it, and so you can make it yourself. As you saw, this is so easy to make. Anybody can make it. Simple, few ingredients, and go wow your friends. Make it. So, hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, most importantly, share. And right over here, hit my logo. It makes it a lot easier for you to subscribe. So until next time, thank you.